everyone, my name is Lara. Thank you for joining us for the first AMC Online session. As you know, the month of March is the Irish American Heritage Month in the United States, and today, March 17th, is the St. Patrick's Day. In this session, you will learn about the patron saint of Ireland, about the symbols and traditions of this holiday, and about how it is celebrated in the United States. You will also get a chance to win a prize in a quiz at the end of this webcast. So, make sure you stay with us until the end of this session. St. Patrick's Day has been celebrated for the centuries, but what are the holiday's origins and who exactly was St. Patrick? Today, the holiday is celebrated around the world, with much more of the modern traditions inspired by Irish expatriates in the United States. Let's start with this question. Who was St. Patrick? Maven Sukkand wasn't particularly religious growing up, or even Irish for that matter. So it's a bit surprising that he became patron saint of Ireland. Born in Britain, Maven grew up in a well-to-do Christian family, complete with slaves and property. At 16, Maven was kidnapped and whisked away to Ireland, where he himself became a slave and tended sheep for 6 or 7 years. It was the time when Maven became deeply religious. Eventually, legend says that Maven began to hear voices, one of which told him to escape and go back to Britain. He managed to gain passage on a ship, but once he reunited with his family, the voice told him to return to Ireland. Before returning, he was ordained as a priest and changed his name to Patrick, inspired by the Latin root patrum, for the father. At the time, most of Ireland was pagan, and progress was hard won by missionary. He was often beaten and imprisoned by Irish royalty and pagan chiefs. After his death, he was largely forgotten. But then, slowly, the legend around Patrick grew up, and he was honored as a patron saint of Ireland. Moving on. How did St. Patrick's Day become an American holiday? St. Patrick's Day started as a minor religious holiday in the 17th century. Ancient Spanish documents were discovered that the first recorded parade in honor of St. Patrick was in Florida in 1606. Although it was a Spanish settlement, and St. Patrick was regarded as the patron saint of corn in the settlement. Since those early days, the parade tradition has spread throughout the United States and abroad, including Ireland. Similarly, the food most associated with the holiday, corned beef with the cabbage and potatoes, also started in the United States. During the Irish potato famine, nearly 1 million Irish people immigrated to the United States. Discriminated against and poor, Irish immigrants living on New York City's Lower East Side started eating corned beef for their traditional dish of Irish bacon to save money. They learned about the cheaper alternative from their Jewish neighbors. Over time, this Irish-American tradition became closely associated with St. Patrick's Day itself, even though people in Ireland rarely ate beef. As for the St. Patrick's Day drink of choice, Guinness originated in Ireland, and their flagship brew, Guinness Stout, is still brewed in their famous St. James Gate. Interesting fact, during celebration in 2017 in Dublin, people consumed 30 million pints of Guinness. The color traditionally associated with Patrick was blue, not green. The color green cropped up again during an effort in 18th century to bring Republican ideas to Ireland, and inspired by the American Revolution and the French Revolution, of course. The origin of the wearing of green clothing in the United States on St. Patrick's Day, in general, dates back to the 19th century, when waves of Irish immigrants came to America, looking for better job opportunities, life, and began wearing green and carrying Irish flags with American flags as a point of pride for their home country. What other symbols and tradition of this holiday do you know? Of course, St. Patrick's Day is a holiday known for shamrocks, the symbol of rebirth of spring in Asian Island, Irish music, snakes, leprechauns, and parades, of course. As we already know, American immigrants brought St. Patrick's Day to the United States. But the first civic and public celebration of St. Patrick's Day took place in Boston, Massachusetts in 1737. Many parades are held to celebrate the holiday, but the smallest of the world's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade is set to take place in Hot Spring, Arkansas, in the United States, annually held on historic Bright Street. One of the world's most famous St. Patrick's Day tradition, the Chicago River, is dyed emerald green each year. The river dyeing is beloved tradition for many generations that dates back over half a century. The New York Parade has become the largest St. Patrick's Day parade in the world, outside Ireland, of course. In 2006, more than 150,000 marchers participated in it, including bands, firefighters, military and police groups, country association, social and cultural club, and was watched by close to 2 million spectators lining the street. St. Patrick's Day rolls around. Some teams such as Chicago White Sox and Boston Red Sox wear green uniforms for their occasion. Today, St. Patrick's Day is widely celebrated in the United States by Irish and not Irish alike. And now it's time to check what you remember about St. Patrick's Day. Now we will ask you 5 questions. The first person who answers them correctly will receive a prize from the American Center in Moscow. The first question: where was St. Patrick born? Ireland, Britain, or Scotland? The second question: where did the first recorded parade in honor of St. Patrick take place? Chicago, Dublin, or Florida? Third question: what dish is associated with St. Patrick's Day which was borrowed from neighboring Jewish settlements? A. Bacon, B. Corned beef, or C. Hummus? The color traditionally associated with St. Patrick's Day is blue or green? And last question: what was the symbol of rebirth of spring in Asian Island? Egg, shamrock, or just green color? We will announce the winners in our social media. Thank you for joining us for the first AMC Online program. Join us for other upcoming online programs. To sign up, please go to our website and check the updates on our social media profiles. Please leave your comments and feedback, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.